Well, hello and welcome to my world, folks. Welcome to Talk Leadership with Cedrick. You know, everybody needs a little TLC, and I am Cedrick LaFleur, your host, and this is Talk Leadership with Cedrick Thursday edition. I'm so excited that you're here with us today. And folks, you know, Talk Leadership with Cedrick is where we focus on leadership and personal growth with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. Our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. You know, our guiding leadership principle is the law of contribution, which says growing yourself enables you to grow others. See, you can't give what you don't have. So first you must grow yourself in order to grow others. See, we believe that outstanding leaders like yourself will help us to help other people. So tonight, folks, we have another dynamic leader with us in the house. And now, you know, every week I like to do a proper introduction of my guest. So let me do that tonight as well. So we have in the house Miss Jade Jones. I'm going to say that again, Miss Jade Jones in the house. And I love our coach. She says, be good at what you do and be great at who you are. See, this is what I'm talking about, folks. This is people who are making an impact with innovative ideas. So Miss Jade Jones is a cybersecurity, STEM, and SEL education advocate. Jada is a service member and owner of CILS LLC, and she's an urban geek in cyber with a talent for educating and inspiring youth, students, and youth adults into leaders of the world, to be leaders of the world. She says she is an introvert entrepreneur, right? So tonight, folks, we're going to see how much of an introvert she is. We're going to turn her to an extrovert tonight. So she's an introvert entrepreneur, and she has hosted multiple social emotional learning workshops, professional development, success summits, and youth cyber education programs. Jada understands the uncharted path that has to be traveled as we walk our own journey. She understands the thoughts of not being enough, finding your identity in this world, and not being acknowledged in your pursuit of significance and success. In every stage of life comes these challenges, but Jada helps our youth, our young people put themselves in positions to create their future, innovate, and recognize their strength and skills to overcome and meet the champion within them. We're born to win, is what she says. Jada is a mental performance coach, and she focuses on strength finding through personal and professional development in our youth and young adults, all while enhancing their performance, communication, clarity, leadership ability, creating healthy decision-making habits, and reframing limiting beliefs. Jada becomes the tour guide, taking them from knowledge to implementation as a courageous leader. So let's welcome Ms. Jada Jones to the show.
Oh, that's a blessing right there. How you doing, Cedrick?
I am doing great. I am loving your bio. So I'm excited that you're here with us tonight. And I just want to have a good show. And I just want to have you bless our audience. And folks, I'm telling you, be ready to take some notes. Be ready for some golden nuggets, because Jada Jones is going to bring it. You see how great the name is? Jada Jones is going to bring it.
They got a ring to it, don't they? Jada Jones.
Exactly, yeah. Jada Jones live is what I'm thinking.
And you're already speaking to existence. There you go.
Exactly.
I'm gonna take notes. Hold on.
So, Jada, hey, again, welcome to the show. Thank you for accepting my invite.
Definitely. I appreciate it.
So, you know, I read your bio and told the audience a little bit about you, but the audience really likes to hear from you. And so what I want you to do is to tell us about your journey to leadership and how did you get to where you are today?
Oh, wow. So I'm definitely I'm a proud parent as well. I am a CW3 or Chief Warrant Officer 3 in the military, the Army,
Okay.
for 19 years.
Wow.
So
Wait a minute. 19 years?
for 19
You don't
years,
look like you graduated high school but 3 weeks ago.
I'm 38 years old. Hey, I'll put my age out there. There you go to the world.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for
So
your service.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So it really did. It started the mindset back when I was a young girl, when I was in school. But I'm always observant, right? So I always observe people, and that's paving the way for our community. So, I took a lot of leadership, qualities that they had, and I actually adopted some of those as I grew older, into to myself. Some things did shed because I was like, it doesn't work for certain situations. So I made sure that, I grew with the time. So that is honestly where, I knew I was going to be a leader. I was always shy, like we say, I was an introvert, but I did have some extrovert in me when I needed to be. So I was actually, I still led behind the scenes. So 19 years old, I actually joined the military, and becoming a great leader is what, I was destined to sit there and be already. And, in those moments, that's where I was like really structurally bred as a servant leader. And as I served, I mean, we serve Cedrick. We serve our chain of command. We served our soldiers, and very rarely that we really served ourselves and poured into ourselves, because we poured everything to everyone else. So I was single back then, right? I didn't have no kids, so I took advantage of many opportunities as being a introvert during those particular times. So that's when I actually started my own strategic personal and professional growth, during that particular era. So I started, requesting schools, like challenging schools. I started stepping up in leadership positions and mentoring, and actually really starting to speak up even more, because I realized that I couldn't stay shy, or I couldn't stay in certain areas, because everyone, the little in between lines I was impacting, but it was more that I should have impacted during those times. So I realized that I needed to sit there and step up and start speaking up. So that brings me now to, entrepreneurship. So the opportunity, actually getting a taste of entrepreneurship. So I say boots in business, because I'm still in the boots, and I'm still, running the business as well. So it's a whole different ball game out here. I'll tell you that much. And I'm learning quite a bit, and I love it. Definitely.
Yeah, because you can't order a customer to order from you, right?
Yes, definitely. So it's learning never stops, and I'm always, picking brains, and always sitting there and continue learning. So that's where I'm at right now, Sid.
Awesome. So
Yep.
what's your business niche?
So right now it's personal growth and skill development training. So I focus on, like you said in my bio, is really providing that alternate path to achieve success. So, through emotional awareness and self-confidence within our youth and our young adults communities, because that's where it's required. That's where it's needed. Because you notice as we start getting older, we start thinking like, if I would have known this back then,
Yeah.
I would have sit there and did something different with my life, or possibly the decisions that I made back then. So try to be that caring adult at this particular moment to say, hey, maybe you should try this out. And that's what a lot of the youth need right now, is just someone to sit there and vouch for them, and someone to acknowledge them, because I've been there before too. So that's where I'm at, and that's where, building that bridge and being that bridge builder is, a passion for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, being an entrepreneur is definitely something that's different and can be challenging sometimes. So what would you say separates your business from other businesses in the same industry?
First off, I would definitely like to commend every single business that's in this industry, because there is an impact there, right? But for my own, I bring my own uniqueness, and the values that I actually stand on. I believe in hope. I value family, wisdom, integrity, and forgiveness, and I have a gift of discernment for years, and I've realized it as I start getting older, so I'm interacting with partners, and I say like educators and parents and those natures, and actually the audience, my youth. I know how to interact with them and try to get down to their level at their stage of life. And, that's what makes me different. I'm bringing my own spill to it, and, they love it. They sit there and, Jada, Coach Jada, or, they always sit there and want to run to me. And even when I actually did sports coaching as well. So, it just warms my heart for sure.
That is awesome, awesome, awesome. So, you're serving in the military and doing your thing there, and then all of a sudden you decided to become an entrepreneur. What was that burning desire? What made you decide, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur?
It was not. It didn't just come on me like that. I always actually been a business opportunity seeker. And as I sit and I was always like looking around, like there's always something that could be done somewhere. So way before I even knew it, there was a such thing as business structures like LLCs and S corps and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I was already sitting there. I tried it all. I feel I tried it all. Coming from MLMs to different type of opportunities. It was like I was always sitting there trying to reach to get more learning and get more information, because to me, I feel I'm the first generation of wealth for my family. Okay. I am the age I am. I am, for my mom, I'm the only child. So it to me it comes more good pressure on my back to know that I could sit here and change my world and change those that's coming after me. So it actually put a lot of targets to say, hey, I need to sit there and do this, and I can't give up on particular things, because it's so easy to give up on your own self, to say, okay, yeah, I'll wait for that. I'll wait for this here. But when there's somebody else is counting on you, yeah, it's different. Your push and your grit is different. Yes, so absolutely. So that's where I'm at right now in life. That's my stage of life. It's like when you get older in ages, you start realizing spirituality. Start realizing different things. Like, man, yeah, you still have that thought. Hey, I wish I would have known that back then.
Yeah, absolutely. All those things become way more important as you start to get older and mature a little bit. So, what makes you smile when you get up in the morning, Jada?
You know what? Having the ability to really smile. Being able to smile. Seeing smiles on my family face. Just waking up to love, hugs, and, that makes my heart smile. So, if I'm frowning somewhere, so, sometimes people say, Jade, don't you smile? I'm like, I am already smiling. Yeah. Even if I have a serious face, because I used to always have a serious face. But now, sometimes you got to keep the smile in. I used to keep the smile in a little bit, because, you're walking down the street, you be like, people like, what's wrong with her? What's she smiling at? So, but if I connect with them while we're walking past each other and just give a nice little smile, that warms my heart as well. But knowing that that's possibly, if they smile back, they can't hide that smile. Mm-hmm. That smile sparks something within them to hopefully, help them throughout their day as well. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I like that. So, a lot of times, Jada, we have people that they have dreams, they have aspirations, and they have this desire to do some things, but sometimes there's something that's stopping them that gets right in the way from being their best self, right? Being the best version of themselves. So what do you think are, one or two or three of the things that's stopping people from being the best version of themselves?
The story they tell themselves, and wherever that story stems from, and that's why we talk about limiting beliefs a lot, that you feel that you're not worthy enough for the desires of your heart, right. And what stories that other, could be family, friends, or what in your past that has been telling you that you can't do this, or the environment that you're in, that you can't get out of this environment, that you are cultivated in here. And that's a story you start telling yourself, and you start to be afraid, and fear starts to come in. So that right there to me is major, because that's a fight. That's a major fight that you have mentally, to know, like, if I do go to this height, will I be successful in it? And if I do be successful in it, what does that look like? And becoming that better version, sometimes people just scared of it.
Yes.
And I can tell you, and it came moments with me that I was like scared of becoming something more to like, can I fulfill those shoes? And that was a limiting belief because you fall into a category sometimes, and when you fall into that category, you like and you compare yourself. Don't get into the comparing phase because then
Yeah.
you're gonna stay right where you at.
Right.
So
Right.
I really believe it's the story that we keep on telling ourselves.
So so what you're saying is sometimes it's not even that fear of failure, it's the fear that you're gonna be successful. Then what am I gonna do?
That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I ended with even, when you leave this earth, what is your end result? Like, do you just want to sit there and be like, okay, hi, I'm Jada, and then you just be forgotten? Even for your family, you just being forgotten. What are you leaving for your family? Any type of legacy that you're leaving for your family is, it's like, what is your end result? Do you have one? Because sometimes we don't have one at that particular
Right.
time. It takes someone to string it out. Like, okay, how about you try this and then see if you like it, and if you don't, try something different. You won't fail at it because you sitting there, you giving it all you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. 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 So, you know, you told your Facebook audience to do some exercises and that great exercise by the way. But so I want to kind of talk about this a little bit. You said, hey, take a sheet of paper. On one side of it, write "I am," and on the other side, write "I am not." Right?
Right.
How has that exercise helped you?
Language matters. And that's the reason why I really pushed it out to my Facebook page. Even I don't do it for likes. I don't do it to impress anybody, right? I
Right.
when I throw things out there,
Hmm.
I get so many DMs, right, saying, "Man, thank you for that message. I really appreciate it." A lot of people don't want to be, front in the front, and I realize, in fact, when I'm putting those things out, that there is moments that we are struggling with who we are, and I
Hmm.
know with me when I put that out there, and I mean it's somewhere around here, but I mean one night it was my creative hours about 12:30 in the morning to 1:30, and I
Oh,
just
okay.
and
All
I just
right.
I just write, right. So I have, and it actually came from one of my mentors. They had mentioned to sit there and do one of those steps, and it's so many, because sometimes we can be so negative about our own self. And I looked at the paper after reflecting on it. It was so many I ams
Hmm.
compared to I'm not. Like years ago, I probably would have had a crap load of I'm not. So when I wrote it down, I realized like, hey, I am all of these. I'm not what someone else may have said in those particular moments, or of despair, or someone angry, or whatever the case is. That I am this. I am a woman of wisdom. I am a woman of integrity. I am this woman. And if there is particular things that I need to work on, that's on my I am list, and that's where I continue to progress and start like, okay, this is where I want to go. And I wanted to share that with my Facebook people because everyone needs to know, like, who are you? You know, Compared to what you feel or what people have said, don't worry about that.
About that.
You're not that, unless you are, but then that means you
Right.
need to work on it, right?
Right. Right.
So, but it's
Exactly.
just giving them the visual to say, hey, I have it written down, because sometimes we put it into our head so many times and it just like, okay, it's in my head, and then it goes away. No, if you write it down and you keep it for keepsake, it matters, because you're gonna go back to it, you're gonna look at it on those days that you really need that motivation.
Yes. Yeah. You need those. Look, folks, we all need from time to time silent reminders, right, of why we are good or great or whatever. Silent reminder. So I love this. So in the case you missed it, I want you to write it down so you can do it. She says, take a sheet of paper and on one side write I am, and on the other side write I am not.
Yep.
Then you're going to challenge yourself to write down all those I ams. Now, once you do that, now it's not done. Now you start telling yourself, every day. Not some days, not most days, not every other day, but every day. I am whatever that is. 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 And guess what's going to happen, folks? Once you start believing it, you put it right here and you start believing it, all those I ams become reality
Yeah.
for you. So I love that exercise. That's awesome. So we might have to put up the PayPal link so that they can start paying for this. Okay.
Hey, we can't forget that we need that TLC.
Yeah, absolutely. You
Need
know,
that
everybody
TLC.
needs a little TLC.
For sure.
So, what's been one of your biggest challenges as an entrepreneur so far?
Oh wow. I would definitely say narrowing down who to serve and
Oh,
and in what capacity. Because I mean, you can have so many ideas, you want to serve and help so many people, but
mhm,
you just one person, and in reality, you can get overwhelmed so much. So definitely in the starting phase, like try to figure out who you want to serve and grow from there because that was the biggest challenge for me. I mean, because I went from, women transitioning out the military to just, women, period, in tech. And then I'm like, man, as I started, talking and actually coaching with some of those,
mhm,
I realized a lot of things was ending up coming from the youth side, like things that was not healed from back then. And I'm like, man, I need to start there. That's
yeah,
where I need to be at. I need to be there before I can sit there and it, when we get of this age, it won't be as much of a I feel stuck. Where am
mhm,
I? How I need to get out of here? They actually have some type of roadmap somewhere.
right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, being an entrepreneur is fun, it's exciting.
it is.
It's all of that in a bag of chips, right? However, it can be challenging and upsetting and all those other things, right?
Mhm.
However, just like with everything else in life, you have to take the good with the bad. You have to figure out how you can turn those negative moments into learning experiences.
Mhm.
So then it can take you to the next level and take you to a whole nother level um, about yourself, that you're learning about yourself and others. So in this leadership development space, Jada, leaders come in all different types of packages with different strengths, right? You have some strengths that I don't have, and I may have some strengths that you don't have. And But what strengths do you feel are, give us two or three. What strengths do you feel are important for successful leaders to have?
I would definitely say being resilient, having an understanding of who you're leading and who's following you, and being confident and definitely being able to make decisions and communicating what you need for the mission success. That's definitely a strength that you know we need as leaders, and we continue to grow and get better at that. That is definitely something I feel that is like a foundation that's definitely required.
Awesome. So being resilient, being confident as a leader. The law of respect says people follow leaders who are stronger than themselves. Right now, audience, if you don't believe me, then what I want you to do is think about this. How many people do you follow who you feel are weak? Right
That's a
now,
good take.
you're probably not going to come up with, if you do, I'll be surprised. Most people, when I ask that question, they don't come up with anyone people who they follow, who they feel are weak, right? The law of respect. People follow leaders who are stronger than themselves. You are looking for someone that's running ahead of you to follow,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So I like both of those, being resilient and being confident. as leaders. Now, on the other side, Jada, good leaders ask great questions.
Hmm.
Notice I didn't see good leaders tell a whole lot of great statements, make a lot of great statements, right? I said good leaders ask great questions. So, what are some questions that you feel are great questions that either you ask or someone has asked of you, and you went, "Wow, that's a really great question."
Wow, there's so many, Cedric. It's so many, and I could take it more so military wise.
Okay.
A constant question that's always asked, and I have asked as well. How can we like truly improve like the the climate, like the demoralized climate or of your team, right? By like tapping into their interpersonal and intrapersonal skills that actually drives the team to wanting to work together, understanding themselves, and even more so in the line of work that we sit there and we do. And if we have to deal with a death of a brother and sister in arms, those questions of how are we going to help our soldiers that's affected, and how we're going to talk to and tell those families. And that's something major. And I may have did a twist a little bit, but that's questions that we ask because it's something more introspective to understand that we're not robots, we're humans, and we are dealing with you know emotions and
Yes.
feelings. And when
And
we're on
people
it,
get
when we're
caught up in their feelings.
yes, and when we enter that, we can't answer certain questions, and that's major to actually build from those particular areas as well.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So when people are trying to get a hold of you, how do they? What's the best way for people to get a hold of you, get in contact with you?
So I am on social media. Jada speaks to connect. That's mostly my handles. I know Cedric, you have my beacon that actually has my all-in-one um, to contact information there as well. So that's how y'all can connect me. Jada speaks to connect. Facebook, IG. I think I have a little bit of TikTok going on, but
Uh oh. Uh oh.
a little bit of TikTok, but you know,
Okay.
that's
All
where
right.
the audience is at as well.
So you got that TikTok thing going happen. Okay. All right.
I try to trend a little bit. I try to trend a little bit.
All right. We're gonna have to we gonna have to check that out,
Nah,
folks.
you
Go
don't,
check
you
out
don't
her
gotta check it out
TikTok.
too much.
Uh oh.
Now we're talking about confidence right now, and on TikTok right now. So it
Okay.
works.
All right. Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna go and see. I pasted in the comments, folks, Jada's link. It's scrolling across the screen, but it's also in the comments on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, so that you can click on it and stay in contact with her. Okay.
Yes,
Um,
stay in contact definitely.
yeah, she wants you to stay in contact with her, and when she has something going on, she wants you to get connected with her. Now, Jada, you know, everybody at some point in their life needs a mentor, right? So my question is, one, do you have a mentor?
Yes, I do. I actually have a few of them.
Okay, okay, all right, big ball in that. She has more than one mentor.
I have a community, that
Okay,
I actually go to and tap into. So that's a major as well.
okay, all right. So tell us some of the biggest things. Give us a couple of things, big things that you've learned in the last 6 months from your mentor that maybe we can benefit from.
Well, definitely staying focused.
Okay.
Focus on what your passion is and what you're at this point where you're good at, and understanding that as humans, how essential needs is met. I'm definitely a sole fan of Tony Robbins. I actually certified in their coaching institute as well. So, knowing that we have human needs that is required at every second or every moment, all of us have different levels of what is required for us to sit there and feel significant or feel the feeling of certainty and things of that nature. So learning those particular things and knowing how human behavior, affects and how our needs affects each other, our relationships, is has been a big eye opener for my mentors as well, to say, oh, this is how it goes. So now I have even more patience and more grace when I'm dealing with individuals of any space. So it actually helps me out to sit there and be like, oh, maybe. And even dealing with the youth, the
Mhm.
youth, the youth is another ball game. So you have to have that different language with them too. So,
Yeah.
and reason why I end up actually getting certified in the youth mental health first aid course, which I recommend if you're in the youth field. They even have the adult certification for 3 years. I definitely recommend to go out there and get certified in that too, to understand the challenges, just mental health challenges that you can actually, like a first aid, you sit there, you could recognize it, and then you could give them resources to help them out as well.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, we have a segment, Jada, on the show. I'm not just going to say Jada Jones.
Jada Jones.
Yeah. We have a segment on the show, Jada Jones, that is called Would You Rather? So let's play a quick round of Would You Rather. So, would you rather meet your great grandparents or your great grandchildren?
I would rather meet my great grandchildren.
Great grandchildren. All right. Would you rather have a life rewind button or a life pause button?
Pause.
Pause. All right. And audience, you can participate in this. Just type your selection in the comments so we can see those. Would you rather know all the world's languages or speak with animals?
You said sleep with animals, or
No, this is a children's show.
no, not like that.
No,
of course not.
speak with animals.
You got me in the wilderness, sitting there with my blanket or something like that. No. Wow. I would definitely say the first one.
Okay, know all the world's languages.
Languages, yeah.
All right. Okay.
Got me out in the wilderness.
Now back to our children's show, parents. Would you rather be stuck in an elevator or stuck on a ski lift?
What was the last one?
Stuck on an elevator or stuck on a ski lift?
Elevator.
Elevator.
No. No air. I need some. I need to breathe. Yes. Ski lift. We'll work with that.
Ski lift. All right. Would you rather go skydiving or bungee jumping?
Oh, both.
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 Oh.
I gotta pick one.
Yes.
Well, I have already did skydiving, so maybe jump. Maybe
Bungee jumping. I don't
Yeah.
understand. Why are you going to jump out of a perfectly good plane?
I am very adventurous. Like I would try one thing once.
Okay.
And,
All right.
and I have tried it.
All right. Would you rather be an adult your whole life or a kid your whole life?
Can I be a mature kid? I mean, I don't want to have the adult responsibilities. How about that?
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Would you rather be able to read or be able to travel?
That's Cedrick. You make it even harder and harder. I can't travel and read. Let me travel.
All right.
Let me travel. I can.
You'll travel and just hope everybody put up pictures so you know.
Yeah, put up pictures and I'll learn on my way. That's it.
Okay. Would you rather own your own private island or your own private jet?
Island for sure.
Island. Would you rather pick the year you died or the way you died?
That's scary. Ned won. I don't want to pick Ned. Come on, Cedric. So I gotta pick one?
Yes.
Pick one.
Gotta make a choice.
The year.
The year? Okay, all right.
I'll rock the year.
Two more. Would you rather be a ninja or would you rather be a pirate?
A ninja. Yes.
The ninja. Okay. All right. Last one. Would you rather have $1 million in Amazon gift cards or $100,000 in real money?
Real money.
The real money.
Real
Okay.
money. I get the real money.
Okay. All right.
Priority.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for playing that round of
That was
Would You.
fun.
Thank you. Would you rather? We always, our guests always enjoy that. So, so you're at home alone. No one's home. The dog's gone. The cat's gone. Nobody's there beside you. What dessert are you gonna eat?
What dessert I'm going to eat? Oh
Yes.
my goodness. You know what? I eat some desserts. I don't
See,
even
when
how,
people
so I
don't,
don't know how to eat dessert that much. So now
you can tell people that don't like that don't eat desserts because they struggle with it. People that eat
yeah, I'm
desserts like
struggling.
yourself.
I'm struggling with it. I don't even know. Let me
Wow.
think. Maybe you know what? I
Ice
wait,
cream, chocolate cake, a
no.
brownie,
You know, I'll say just give me some chocolate chip cookies.
chocolate chip cookies. Okay, all right.
We'll work with that.
Okay.
We'll work with some chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, y'all know me. Y'all know I already know what my choice is going to be. I'll be quick, fast, and in a hurry with that answer.
You got me eat some chocolate chip cookies over here.
Exactly. Now you go run 5 miles. I'm like, Jade, you didn't really eat them.
I'm like, I tasted it.
Oh my God. So why do you think it's important, Jada, for people to grow, continue to grow?
Because if you stop growing, you're just really, where are you? You know, what are you going to sit there and be at? And I actually look at that as like, you can't sit there and come to a table and not have nothing to give back.
Yeah.
It's a word for that. It was what's the word for that one? What's it called? Reciprocity?
Oh yeah, reciprocity. Yeah.
Yeah, like as you grow, those individuals around you sit there and grow too. So, or at least you would intention, you would hope that they grow. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
definitely.
Yes, absolutely. So you've had a lot of successes in your life, Jada, and but we also know that we've all failed at something, right? Something that didn't come out the way we wanted it to. You probably didn't have these problems in school where you failed a test. We've had those moments. So give us an example of something that you failed at, and what. How did you overcome that, and what did you learn from it?
Um, Man, I tell you, you fail every day, you know. But I guess I don't look at it as failure. Like you say, you look at it as like a learning opportunity to sit there and get better with it, and knowing that, hey, one way didn't work, let's try a different way. But I would say, like, just I have failed to sit there and do what was required of me at that particular moment. And it might sound like that might be like generalized a little bit, but that's only off my own limiting of beliefs. That I thought I could have did more. Whether it's like with family or whether it's with work, I could have did more, and I dropped the ball somewhere because I didn't feel that I was worthy enough to sit there and do it. So I just you know let it all go, and that's a failure to me, but it's a learning thing. Like, hey, you can't do that. People are dependent on you. You can't sit
Right.
there and do that. So because I can sit there and can't go into my introvertness and be like, let me go back here somewhere, and not. And if I had that thought or I have that wisdom to help, this has been in the past, that I'm like, no, I don't feel like talking or what, but
Mhm.
that's something that I definitely have got out of, because it's detrimental. So I think that's a failure on my part, but it's a learning process that we had to go through.
Go through. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, JD. I was in a restaurant, a sandwich shop, that used to use the guy. I won't say the name of the sandwich shop, but they used the guy, Jared. in their advertisement.
Mhm.
And this young lady working behind the counter was talking to one of her coworkers, and here's what she said. She goes, they were talking about some lady that had high expectations when a previous customer that came into business, and she said, people should stop expecting 5-star service from places that are not 5-star.
Mm.
And I went, wow, I bet. I know, one, she's not the owner,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Two, I know the owner don't want her saying that so that other customers will see that or hear that, right?
Mhm.
And I started to say something to her, but then I was like, you know what, I don't have the time right now, and I just left it alone. But think about that.
Yeah.
Stop. People should stop expecting 5-star service from places that are not 5-star. So if the employees don't see their business as being 5-star, it's never going to be 5-star,
Exactly.
right? And yeah, so it's just interesting how employee and employee mindset
Mhm.
can be detrimental to your business.
Yes. Yes.
And
It's a domino effect.
mhm,
It's a domino effect.
yeah, absolutely. And so the challenges with that type thing for our audience, the challenge with that type of mindset is now the employees have a scarcity mindset about the business. So they never strive then to give excellent customer service. They don't strive then to make sure that the customer really wants to come back to their business, right? And then they never put into the business what the owner would want them to put in, meaning their whole heart
Yeah.
into serving the customer, fixing a sandwich, wiping the counters, cleaning the refrigerator. They never put 5-star worth of work into it,
And
right?
they the Yep. And they the front end.
And exactly,
Yep.
yeah. So then your customer is never going to see it as as 5-star, right? It's amazing.
It is. It's
Um,
crucial. It's crucial. That's just like you getting reviews. You
well,
know.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, to the audience, I want you to start thinking about this in your own life. Where are you not thinking that you are 5-star rating? Is that in your career? Is it in your relationships? Is it with your children? Is it um, in social groups? Is it in your education? Is it in your finances? Where do you not believe that you are 5-star rating worthy? See, if you never start believing that you are, that just means you're up here and not down here. Where are you believing that? And wherever you are, I guarantee you, you are, or you're not. If you believe that you're 1-star, then I guarantee you that's where you are.
Mhm.
But there's a beautiful thing, and that's why Jade is here. Um, you can change that. You don't have to stay that way. You don't have to keep that mindset. You can change that mindset. Jada said it earlier, that you have to be intentional about growth, and she talks about on her website and in her social media about helping people understand how to become I am versus I am not. That's why Jada Jones is with us today.
Jade Jones.
Jada Jones.
You speaking a word over there, Cedrick. You speaking a word.
I love it. So, the journey to becoming an entrepreneur is never an easy one, right? It's a long road. So, share with our audience before we go, 2 or 3 pieces of advice that you would like for them to know if they're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur.
Uh, um, I would definitely say I give 2. 20% learning and 80% executing. right? Because we can sit here and we can learn and learn and learn and learn and learn and not execute on anything. And when you're not executing, you're not impacting anything as an entrepreneur, and you're not getting any profits. You're not sitting there impacting your audience. You're not doing any of that. So if you sit there and you look into it, because I'm just a living witness. You can just continue learning and get into that data paralysis. Is that what you call it? You
Yeah.
just continue going
Paralysis
and going.
analysis.
There you go. And you just continue learning, and you like your head's gonna pop. Now what you gonna do with all that? So you have to execute. So if you apply that 20-80 rule, 20% you learn. And I know one of our Chris Robinson always said to say, hey, you learn, apply, and that's the same as the 20-80. You learn, then you execute. And that will sit there and you will start seeing the fruits of your labor. And then also I would say definitely have a long-term commitment to build your business. Like if you don't have a long-term vision or commitment to building your business, it's just going to be just possibly a side hustle for you or just a hobby for you. But definitely sit there and stay focused and be persistent, because things is going to get tough. Just things is going to sit there and be like, oh, I don't understand this. But if you sit there and you seek someone else and see how they are moving and how their structure is, you sit there and you start learning a little bit more of how you can build that into your own empire. So I definitely sit there and say, hey, things get tough, but you sit there and just get a mentor, get a coach, and just try to walk you through those stages to get your business going.
Absolutely. Seek wise counsel, in other words, is what she said.
Yes. Hey,
Yes.
be zeal.
Absolutely. Definitely important. So what would you say is one of the most the biggest things or the best things that's happened to you so far this year?
This year, 2021, not 2020. So 2021, definitely I ended up gaining completing my entrepreneurship course that was instructed by Dr. Eric Thomas. I know ET. So he was our instructor for our entrepreneur course through Lakeview University. I definitely recommend it. Shout out to them. And like I mentioned earlier, getting certified in the youth mental health first aid and my inner growth, my inner healing, that was major. As on my assignment now, I'm getting ready to sit there and transition back into like full time, back with my family and military and everything else. So now I'm balancing my business with it as well. So, that's gonna be a happy ending for real. So I'm excited. It's gonna be more. So that's definitely the best thing that's happening to me this year so far.
Awesome. Well, that's nice to hear, and that's awesome. Yeah, Eric Thomas is probably one of the best leadership speakers that's out there. I mean, he's phenomenal. I use his videos, him in video a lot to help encourage, motivate, inspire audiences. He's phenomenal.
Yes,
so Jada, last question for you. If there was a book that was written about you, what would the title of the book be? And what would the summary in the back of the book say about you?
Can I ring a friend? I'd much rather get that energy from somebody else. What do they think of me? But if I had to choose, Cedrick, since you put me in a hot seat.
Yes.
Maybe Through the Eyes of Jada Jones.
Through the Eyes of Jada Jones.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, strength, perspective, and love. I'm so love is a major thing for me, and connection. That would most likely be like the book about me, the title.
Okay, Through the Eyes of Jada Jones. I like that. So the next question then is, when is the book coming out?
It just seems like it's constant confirmations. I'm always getting, when you gonna have your book out? When you have a book out? I guess it's gonna have to be soon, sometime. But I am right now creating a course for emotional healing. So and understanding how our emotions are intact with our day-to-day lives and our relationships. So I am starting that, and that should be launching out sometime towards the summertime frame. But my book, that's gonna be part of my book, but I don't know yet. It's when as soon as I find out, I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna blast it on out.
Okay. All right.
I'll
All
blast it
right.
on out.
Well,
You over here, you talking to assistant, so that might be
we
the title.
we gonna challenge you to take some massive action on that and get that book out the door.
All right.
Right.
I'm gonna
That's
write it
what we're
down.
about here at Leadership, at Talk Leadership with Cedric.
Definitely. I appreciate that blessing. Man.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, it's this show, this hour has gone by like boom, just
An
like
hour
that.
already?
Yeah, we're actually over the time that we were going to have the show today. So, but that means that you've done a great job of helping us put on an entertaining show for our audience today. So, I want to take this time right now to thank you for accepting our invite and for coming on the show and to adding value to our audience and making the world a better place as we think through and talk about leadership to the world. So definitely
I thank you for the opportunity, Cedric. Definitely.
awesome.
Hey, don't be no stranger. I won't be no stranger either.
Yeah, absolutely. So audience, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back. Tomorrow is Friday. Wait a minute. No, tomorrow is Thursday.
No, tomorrow Friday.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, tomorrow is Friday.
Friday.
Whoa, wait a minute. Tomorrow is Friday. So you know what that means. 8:30 Central Time. Friday mental motivation, baby. So you guys need to make sure that you tune in. I'm going to have a teacher from LaGrange High School in Lake Charles, Louisiana, in the studio with us tomorrow on Friday Mental Motivation. They have a great show coming up. I want to make sure that you get to tune in and to tune in tomorrow so you can hear about the great performance that their performing arts department has coming up next weekend. So tune in tomorrow morning, 8:30 Central Time for Friday Mental Motivation. I'm going to get you pumped up and excited and ready to end the week strong. And then we're going to go out and have a great weekend. And woo, man, let me tell you what, if you haven't registered for Connect and Collab, then you need to make sure that you get registered for that. The next, this weekend, this Saturday, from 9 to 11 Central Time, Connect and Collab will be taking place. So make sure you get registered for that, folks. If you're thinking about, hey, I need to improve my social network. I need to get around people who are thinking bigger and who are thinking dream big and who have positive mental attitudes, then you need to register for Connect and Collab. The link is going to be in the comments, folks. You can go ahead and register for Connect and Collab. Hold your wallet. We don't need your money. All we're asking you is to come in for 2 hours and network. We're going to get you pumped up. We have a dynamic speaker. So I want to make sure that you get registered for Connect and Collab. Just click on the link and register. Just click on the link and just click on the link and register. It's that easy, folks. And just like I tell you every week, folks, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. Don't be on the menu. Thank you guys and good night.
Good night.